Hello everyone. Every time then I'm trying to do tile view in Unreal Engine, I'm forgetting how to do this thing. So there is a plenty of tutorials on internet, but I want to make my own tutorial. So the next time I would need to do this thing, I would just can refer to my own tutorial. Let's make the project and let's call it tile view. Let's make the game. Let's make blank. Let's call it tile view tutorial. Let's make it C++, desktop maximum, no starter content, no ray tracing. Create. So I'm going to probably quickly set it up for my own needs. Stay with me for a little bit. Okay, so we have untitled map. Let's save it. Let's call it new map. It's fine. I think we're good now. We want user interface. So for user interface, we need HUD. Oh, I need game mode first. So I need to create game mode. So let's select base. Let's call it project game mode. And oh, it's a blueprint. Yeah, let's do blueprint one. It's fine. Create game mode because it's a blueprint. Oh yeah, let's put it in blueprints. It doesn't matter. Blueprint game mode. Save. So I think we do not need anything else. So now we can add the HUD here. Create HUD. So we create HUD. Let's call it also blueprint HUD. And we need user interface. So for user interface, we go here and create user widget. Blueprint should be derived from user widget. Derived from user widget, select, and let's call it blueprint HUD UI. You know, I like to have this capitalization. We need to put panel, and now we can put the text. So, and in HUD and construction script, we construct object from class, and we construct blueprint HUD UI, and then add to viewport this guy. I think we're good. Yeah, so we have text block here, and now this is the beginning of the tutorial. Hopefully I will make chapters so you would be able to skip directly here. So I need to have tile view, and every time I'm forgetting how to do this thing. So we have tile view here, and if I try to compile, it would say, you know, I cannot do things, you need to do something. So one thing, it's kind of obvious right now, it needs something, and it's saying, oh, you know, put entry widget class. So we just follow what it's asking us to do. So we click here and we look, where is this entry widget class, and here it sets to none, and it's empty here. So what we need, maybe let me have open GIMP, and I would just put notes while I'm going through all this stuff. So we need a tile view. This is the first thing. Second thing, tile view needs entry widget class. So entry widget class, it's a user interface, like a UI for tile view. So tile view, it's it's just a grid, right? And we need the user interface, what we want to put here. Like, for example, it's inventory, right? So we can have some food here. I don't know what kind of food, and like maybe amount, like I don't know, 16, right? So we need some user interface, and widget class is going to be this sort of user interface for each tile. So what we need to do, we need to create another user widget. Let's call it user widget. Select, and it is let's pretend we are making inventory, right? So let's call it inventory slot, and then we can make some sort of user interface for this thing. So we can say it's custom, we can say it's 256 by 256, and it will have panel, and let's call it inventory slot. So it's like this, but then we are going to specify the class here. It's still empty, and the reason is this guy needs to have interface. And to do this thing, I can go to class settings and like scroll here and find list of inherited interfaces. So like this is already inherited interfaces, and this interface we can add. And this is a little bit confusing because you search for tile, you will find nothing. You need to search for list, and you will find three list things. So the reason is because tile view is inherited from list, so there is a lot of things are based on the list in the tile view. So you need to inherit user object list entry. So this one is also you can do, but I don't think it's very useful one. Anyways, you can do this thing, but I need to do this thing based on the object, and hopefully I will explain later on what the difference. So you inherited the interface, and essentially you can now go to user interface here, and it will be listed here. So you can put it here, and you already have some sort of design here. It's a little bit broken. Let me go and try to fix it in Designer. So I think it's broken because of this. Like if I do it like this, hopefully this would be okay. Not sure. Oh yeah, it's not moving. So I guess I can do it like this. Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, yeah, so we have design here. So because I want to do this for C++, I need to do it in the code, not in blueprints. So I added the interface and blueprint just for sake of demonstration, I guess. But I need to do it in C++, and I always forgetting how to do these things. So I'm going to remove this interface first. Let's go to class settings, and we have interface, this one. So I'm going to remove it. Okay, compile. So I think we will lose it from here if it's doing right. No, we did not lose it. Probably it would not compile. Yeah, it's not going to compile. Yeah. So now I'm going to make inventory slot class, new CPP class, user widget, next, and this is going to be inventory slot, create class. Okay, so it is compiling. Source. Now I can get this one, and it's derived from user widget. Now I can reparent it to my class. So class settings, and scroll up, and we can do inventory slot like this. And now I need to figure out how to do interface. So we need to have user object list entry include blueprint I user object list entry.h, and here public I user object list entry public. And we can look at the documentation, and what we need to do, we need to override free functions. So we need to override this one, then we need to override this one. So probably I should go into inside. This one, and this one. So final. We also can put final here, just to help compiler a little bit. Set. I also like to do this way. It's just my preference. It's to do trailing type. Yeah. So now let's put like an empty implementation for inventory slot, right? I'm just going to put empty implementation here. I guess we will get some warnings, but I think it's fine. user object list n3. User object list n3. So I think I need to update add UMG module to here. UMG. There is a typo. Here we go. Get list item object implementation. So it seems to be documentation is outdated. User list entry. So let's see. So there is only one native on list item object set, native on list item object set, and these two actually not needed. Okay. So we need this interface, and then we need to implement native on list item object set. So this class is a user interface, which is this thing, right? And then we have list item object set, which is giving the data. So we need data to interpret, because like we cannot draw same thing every time, right? So we need to have some sort of way to represent the data what we want to try to show. So we need data, and this is the way how Unreal Engine setting up the data to your stuff. So yeah, so we implemented this thing. Okay, now let's go to blueprint. So we have inventory slot, and in inventory slot we need to reparent. I think I already reparent. Yeah, I already reparent. So now it's supposed to be visible here, but it's not. Compile. Interesting. Well, maybe I need to restart Unreal Engine. Okay, so we have inventory slot, which is parent class inventory slot, and yeah, and we do see the interface. So and in the HUD UI, oh, here we go. Yeah, I needed to restart Unreal Engine. So now we have this thing, and the way how we can add something here. I think I'll make in our class, which would be class which holds data. So this is the third part of the puzzle, right? So we need to put tile view, we need to have some sort of representation, visual representation, and we need to data. And this one is actually will have the code how to represent the data. So we need to have a data class, which is I'm going to add in a second, and it can be any U object. So what I need to do, new class. What's going on? Okay. And it has to be derived from object. And then let's call it item. Okay. So I guess I will update the blueprint of the HAN. We have let's do in the begin play. Yeah, in the begin play. So first let's promote this thing to variable. So let's call this one UI. So in an event graph. Here we go. UI, and then we can now let's keep a tile view name. So we will take I do not know what's going on here. So what we can do, we can populate this manually, I guess. So we can in C++. So let me make the class user widget. I'm thinking probably I should make it from HUD. Let's do it from HUD. Doesn't matter. So we make the HUD, and it's called project HUD. Create class. Okay. So we have project HUD. So I'm going to clean it up quickly. Okay. So project HUD. Now we need to reparent HUD to project HUD. Class settings and reparent it like this, and then we can do it actually can be private begin play, so we can put final here as well. right? And this is the kind of not fun part, but what I can do, I can have property read write user widget, and let's call it native HUD UI. Okay, so here in the construction script, instead of setting it to HUD UI, we should have native, but I'm not seeing it. Set native. Oh yeah, here we go. So we have it here. So in the begin play, now we can do item equals, yeah, include item dot h. I think it's I capital, right? And item count equals 10, item name equals apple. Okay. So we have native HUD UI, right? And we need to get the property. We need to find this guy. Auto tile view equals native HUD get class, find property by name, this one, property. So we found the property, and then generic property, and then tile view object property equals cast field f object property, right? And then we tile view cast tile view prop get property value in container native HUD UI, yeah, like this. Okay, and tile view, yep, finally. So we should have one item here. So save inventory slot, yeah. So we've got one item here. Let's have more for I equals 0, I less 10, plus plus I, and let's put I here. And we can put this thing outside of for loop. So we have 10 item slots, but they are not showing anything because we did not have the code which is doing representation, right? So we have design for inventory slot, but we do not have anything to draw here. So we have a text, and we can maybe make it a variable, text block 0, and so it's inventory slot, right? So we can implement it now. Source inventory slot, right? So we have this function. Now we need to inventory slot. We have this function, and now we can implement it. So now we've got the object here, and we can get the inventory item, right? So we can do cast to u item, right? And if not item, we'll just return here. Otherwise, we can do same thing to get the tile view, right? We can do same thing to get the 0, right? Text block, text block, text block. So it's gonna be text block, these. And so item has count and name. Set text. I think it's happy now. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully it will do things. Compile. So let's see. Hey, look at this. 0, 1, 2. Here we go. So I made it work. It took forever. This is Unreal Engine. So let me recap stuff, right? So we have tile view, and then we need to create entity class widget, which derived from user widget. Derived from user widget, and it's also need interface I user object list entry, I user object list entry, right? And in this interface we need to implement native on list item object set, and in the implementation we need to implement how we are going to represent data which is passed as a U object. So we cast to what we expected, and then we setting up this widget, and here's it. I just get the text block and set the value to like this, count name. Maybe I should swap here. So it should be name count like this. And yeah, and then we can make a design whatever we want. So I can maybe put it like this and add the border here like this. So yeah, so it's gonna look like this now. So this one, and then we need data, yeah, and this is the how we do tile view in Unreal Engine. It's kind of complicated, but yeah. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.